So, today is a good freaking day. I stole my girlfriend's hoodie, and it's cozy and warm. I've got a beer. I've got Octopath traveling. I just put out another YouTube video. This is awesome! Now, for those of you who don't know what this game is kind of 2D, 3D game. Great music. You play as 8 different characters. There's Ophelia, Cyrus, is it Therion? Tyrion? Huh? Therion? Okay, Therion. Is it Ophelia? Ophelia. Primrose. Alphen. Oh, there's another T. Tressa? What's the age? Hanan, yes. Spell that out, that's Octopath, yes. This game is so good. There is one issue with this game. Only one issue. I love everything except one major issue. And you will see that with everyone's criticism of this game. The grind. This game is a grind. I have yet to finish it, but now that I have it on Xbox, because Game Pass is the thing that I got now, I'm doing this bitch. Right when the music finishes, too. Okay. So. Oh, I guess I could have done this. Okay. Now. The cleric. Ophelia. Your name is Ophelia, and you are a cleric. Wow. I guess I'll just stop talking now. You hail from the snow-swept Frostlands, where you dutifully serve the Order of the Flame, under your adoptive father, the Archbishop. As your adoptive sister and best friend prepares to embark on a perilous pilgrimage, you stand ever at her side, but unbeknownst to both of you, events are about to take a tragic turn. Cyrus. Your name is Cyrus, and you are a scholar. You teach in the Royal Academy in Atlastan. Though you have numerous admirers, your only true passion is the pursuit of knowledge. There is much more I would learn. One day you realize that an invaluable tome has vanished from the Royal Library, piquing your insatiable curiosity. Tressa. Your name is Tressa and you are a merchant. You stock your shelves in your parents' shop at your sleepy seaside hometown. Yet you often find yourself gazing out at the sea, longing for something. What lies beyond the horizon? You thought you'd never know the answer. One day, an unfamiliar vessel weighs anchor at the docks, changing your life forever. Your name is Ulbrich. You are a warrior. Once, a proud knight, you lost both king and kingdom in a bloody coup. Today, you serve as a master-at-arms for a remote mountain village. What end do I sleep by today? The question tortured you night after restless night, and one day, you overhear a name from your past, giving you new purpose. Primrose. You are a dancer. You ply your trade in the pleasure district of Sunshade, a town forever shrouded in darkness. Truth, you are the high-born daughter of the once proud House Azelhot, an identity you conceal from all. 3 men bearing the mark of the crow. They took my father from me. You will have your revenge. Alphen, the best of boys. Your name is Alphen and you are an apothecary. You treat the wounded wounded and sick in a small village amid the babbling brooks of the riverlands. Stricken ill as a child, you were saved by a traveler who asked for nothing in return, inspiring you to follow in his footsteps. Though hesitant to leave the only home you've ever known, your best friend convinces you to follow your dream, wherever it may lead you. Therion. Your name is Therion and you are a thief. While your past is a guarded secret, you exploits are known far and wide. Mere whispers of your extravagant heist strike fear into the hearts of the wealthy. Drifting into the clifflands, one day you hear a rumor of great riches to be had. You set your sights on a mansion said to be impregnable, only to find you never expected. And Hannett. Your name is Hannett. You are a hunter. The last descendants of an ancient clan that calls the deep forest home. Your prowess with the bow is unmatched. Your master left home 1 year ago, summoned to hunt a dread beast. You protected the village while awaiting his return. And one day, the return of an old friend gives you cause for concern. You strike out on a journey on your own. Now, I will be doing the characters in that order, because one, that's the order the kind of name of the game reads, Octopath. It goes in a perfect circle and stuff. Plus, I just like Ophelia in general. I think she's cute. So we're gonna go with Ophelia. I'm going to possibly... Someone watching wants to do that.
May the sacred flame guide us. Come in.
Oh.
May the sacred flame light your path on this fine day.
Liana.
And may it ever shine its warmth upon you.
She's too precious.
How many times have we said those words? And yet, they seem to take on a whole new meaning now. Each day is one day closer to my departure. Perhaps I'm more nervous than I thought I was. Liana? You needn't worry about me. I was born to make the pilgrimage. My father did the same 20 years ago. As his daughter, I cannot let him down. You really are incredible, Liana. I don't know how you do it. What? As the Archbishop's only true-born daughter, everyone always expects so much from you. And yet you never fail them. Each of your sermons is more inspiring than the last. And now, the pilgrimage, so much is placed on you alone. Don't be silly. I'm not alone. I have you, don't I? And everyone at the cathedral. Why, you're the one who helped me think of a topic for that last sermon, Ophelia. You even stayed up nights with me to draft it. A willing set of ears and a few pretty words, that's all I could offer you. I wish I could do something that would truly help you. Oh, abandon such worries and come, my sister. Father is expecting us in the chapel.
Radar and bottom red, check your area and find your heading. Okay. Oh, it's game is beautiful. I've been wanting to play this game again for so long. In the beginning, the 13 gods created the land. They shaped the mountains, filled the seas, gave life to mighty trees and myriad beasts. And then they created men, who would become masters of the land. Yet one god, Galdera, was too greedy to part with his creations. And so the 12 deities of good were forced into a desperate struggle with the cruel Galdera, lord of the most infernal magics. In the end, the conflict was brought to a close by Alfric, the Flame-Bringer, lord of all that is holy. Alfric called Astrofire down upon Galdera, sapping his strength, and sealed him away in the afterworld. A divine flame to chase the shadows. This is the sacred flame that shines down on the land of our Stera, bringing warmth and guidance to its people.
There you are, my girls.
Your Excellency, may the sacred flame ever light your path. Have you need of us here, Father?
I wish to see you, that is all. Do carry on with your duties.
Aww.
As you wish, Your Excellency.
It is as if the two of you have become women grown in but the blink of an eye. How long has it been, Ophelia, since you came to us?
15 years, Your Excellency, or near enough so.
15 years. I suppose it is little wonder that you have grown so.
I was but an orphan, Your Excellency, starving and sickly. I would not have lived to see this day if you had not taken me in. I may not have said it enough growing up, but my heart is full of gratitude for all that you have given me.
No need for such words, my child. We all follow the path the flame illuminates for us.
Come on, Feely. We're family. You, Father, and I. There's no need to be so formal about it.
Sister!
Why should you have to thank us for being with you? That's what family's for. Of course. You're right, Liana. And besides, Father may be a great archbishop in here, but we both know he's just an old layabout at home. Isn't that right, Father?
An old layabout? Oh, you wound me, Liana.
I know your duties at the cathedral keep you busy, Father, but honestly, you're no help at all when it comes to keeping a household running. Would it kill you to cook a meal or dust the bookshelves from time to time?
Oh my. When you put it that way, I suppose I am quite useless after all.
So even the great and beloved Archbishop falls short in the discerning eye of his daughter.
So it would seem, Ophelia. So it would seem. Now, tell me, Liana, are you prepared for your journey to the Cave of Origin?
But of course, Father. I am ready.
In the deepest recess of that cave is where you will find the first flame. You will take the ember to the churches across the realm, where it will serve to light the sacred fires that warm and protect all the lands. This is the kindling, the time-honored rite held without fail once every 20 years since the days of old. Your journey will not be an easy one, As soon as you step foot into the wilderness, you will be met with lawless villains and savage beasts. Yes, many a servant of the church has made this journey throughout our history. Some have never returned. But I know you can do this, my daughter. Everyone has put their faith in you.
You have my word, Father. I won't let anyone down. I will carry out the rite, just as you did 20 years before.
Very good, my child. Very good.
It's contagious.
Father? Are you all right, Your Excellency?
It's nothing to worry yourselves over. Just my years announcing their advance.
Oh, you mustn't sound so gloomy, Your Excellency. There is still so much we would learn from you before we let you call yourself Archbishop Emeritus. Ophelia is right, Father. Like she always is. You should retire for the day and let your body recuperate. We can handle things from here. We will let the Pontiff know that you are resting in your chambers, sir.
When my two girls insist, who is this old man to deny them? I will leave the preparations for today's service to you.
We will take care of everything, Your Excellency. I'll see Father back to his chambers. Thank you, Liana. I will see to our duties here. Well then.
I suppose I had best start preparing for the next service at once. Oh my, what is a child doing here all alone? What is the matter, child? Oh my. It's my mama. She's gone and I can't find her anywhere. Come back, Mama. Don't leave me here all alone.
Won't you come with me?
Now, let's dry those tears. Why don't I help you look for your mother? Can you really find her?
Of course.
Of course, my child. Sacred Flame will show us the way. Oh, I should be preparing for the service. No. I simply cannot abandon this poor boy. If I hurry, I should still be able to finish everything in time. Each character's unique action to overcome it. Try pressing X in front of a talented person.
Hello.
Well,
Gotta find your mother, boy. Are you his mother? No.
Grand. Mother!
you are.
Oh,
Sister Ophelia, how can I thank you for taking care of this little troublemaker of mine? And you, how many times must I tell you not to wander off on your own?
Actually,
Pray do not scold this poor boy. He was so brave and good this whole time.
thank you so much.
You're too kind, Sister Ophelia. I know how busy you are with your duties at the chapel. Thank you for helping me despite that. It is no wonder that the Archbishop is so proud of his 2 daughters. 2 daughters? Surely you must know that he's forever boasting of you and Sister Liana both.
truly?
He does?
But of course.
But of course, almost every time I speak to him. Come along now. Thanks for being back home with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Ophelia. It was my pleasure, child, but do try to stay with your mother in the future, yes?
I see.
Oh!
If I might.
Of course.
Yes, might I be of some service, my good sir? Would you know where I might find His Excellency, the Archbishop? May I ask who is looking for him? Pray forgive my lack of manners. My name is Matthias, a trader with Leoniel Consortium. The Archbishop has generously designed to engage in a transaction of sorts with us, named
Well then,
a trader. I see. It's an honor to meet you, sir. I am Sister Ophelia.
Oh!
Oh, so you are Sister Ophelia. I've heard so much about you. When the Archbishop contacted me to request my services, he spoke much of his 2 daughters. I also heard that Sister Liana will be the next flame bearer. The realm is blessed to have such loyal servants. It is, as a matter of fact, to equip your sister for her forthcoming journey that the Archbishop has summoned me here today. Is that so? We are much obliged for your support.
No.
Enough here, good sister. It is the duty of the faithful to serve the Church, as the Church has so tirelessly serves us.
No.
Sister Ophelia, you must come at once. Whatever is the matter?
It's a disaster!
Oh, Sister Ophelia, it's the Archbishop. His Excellency has collapsed.
but how could...
What? I will come at once. Master Matthias, forgive me for abandoning you when you have journeyed so far, but...
No.
Do not spare a moment's thought for me. Sister, pray go to the Archbishop's side at once.
Forgive me.
I thank you for your understanding, sir. Please excuse me.
Your Excellency! Ophelia, please! Please, take a moment to breathe. Forgive me, Liana, but His Excellency...
What His Excellency needs most now is rest. Please try not to excite him.
Of course. Forgive me.
Anna?
Yes, Father?
sacred flame.
Do not worry yourself, Father. I will perform the rite without fail, just as you taught me.
That is good to hear.
Father!
Worry not, Sister Liana. He is only resting.
Liana!
Sister Liana, are you not well?
I'm fine. I think I just need some fresh air. She is trying to act strong before the others. I worry for her. I should be by her side at a time like this.
Well,
Good day.
Let's see what we can do.
Yes.
Oh, a prison.
Greetings.
Can I get back to this person over here? Okay, there. Alright then, keep your secrets.
Hail.
Liana, how are you feeling? Ophelia? Liana? What am I to do, Ophelia? Father! My father is... Liana... Thinking about what might happen makes me feel so scared, so angry that I feel like my heart might just burst. But if I fall to pieces now, everyone will lose hope. I must be strong. And soon, I must depart on the pilgrimage. The rite cannot be put off any longer. There are centuries of tradition we must obey. But leaving my father behind, without even knowing if I'll ever see him again. Don't despair, Liana. We are together in this. We will find a way. Ophelia.
It's been 15 years since His Excellency took me in. My family lost in the war. I was left with nothing, and no one to care for me.
Now then,
Do not despair, Ophelia. From today, we are your family. This is Liana, my daughter, your new sister.
Hey,
My name's Liana, but you can call me Anna if you want, if you'd like.
huh?
What's the matter with her?
oh,
Liana, I'm afraid that Ophelia has gone through something very sad. So let us see that she is cheered once more. Together, in the light of the sacred flame, we will find happiness.
Yes,
Yes, Father. I'll be the best sister ever, Ophelia. My first days in the Archbishop's home, I kept in my room and spoke to no one. It was she who brought me out of my shell. Liana, my best friend, my sister.
hey, Billy. Don't you want to go outside? Oh, I know. There's someplace I just have to take you. What? This way! Up here! Where are we going? It's just a little further. Come on, we're nearly there. Here we are. What is this place? It's my favorite place in all the world. Maybe it could become your favorite place too. It's beautiful. Isn't it, though? That's why I love it here. Here, Feely. This is for you. So now, won't you play with me? Still no? Feely, are you crying? No, I'm not. I'm not crying. Good to hear it. We're going to be the best of sisters, Feely.
I just know it. I'd like that too, Liana. Then it's settled. Oh, next time I'll teach you my favorite game, and then...
After I lost my family, I was convinced it was my fate to be alone and miserable for the rest of my days. But Liana brought me out from under that dark cloud and gave me the strength to start living again.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for running off like that. I will return to Father's side and stay with him as long as I can.
Yes.
Pray do that, Liana. He will rest all the easier knowing you are with him. The Archbishop's illness weighs heavier on Liana than anyone else.
And yet,
And yet she must hide all that from the world around her. Tomorrow she is sent out to gather the ember from the
In
cave.
that case,
If I were to gather the ember in her place, Liana could stay by her father's side. Of course, I cannot bear to leave him either. If someone else were to gather the ember, that same person would have to go on the pilgrimage and complete the rite. To say nothing of straying into that cave without the church's blessings, I'd get more than a stern lecture, that's for sure. As I recall, the Cave of Origin lies within the foothills to the east of here. You never know when danger might strike, so be sure to save often. Keep an eye out for this monument.
A good day to
What's up, homeboy? Hey. What have you got, sir?
Greetings.
Let's save before we go. Where's ya?
I will battle.
Oh, this music. Oh, Breaking. Yes, I remember this.
Well then,
Apparently a staff. Boost mode. Enter boost mode to augment your powers. Break your foes to drastically reduce their defenses. Press the RB button to enter boost mode and the potency of your attacks and abilities will surge. Gain 1 boost point per turn. Spend up to 3 boost points to empower your character 3 levels of power. Use best mode and activate APP on the
I will not
foe.
be defeated.
Am I hitting you again?
I'll do my best. I will not be defeated.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, there we go.
Prepare yourself.
Ready for an ass whooping? Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, sacred light!
There we go.
The flame guides us true.
No items, okay.
Flame, protect
Oh, no.
us. My turn now.
If I remember correctly, I think the currency here is leaves.
My turn now. I will not be defeated. I'll do my best.
Let's absolutely obliterate and blind you.
Oh, sacred light.
Oh yeah.
I
Goodbye.
hope I grow more able. I will battle.
Squirrels!
My turn now. I will not be defeated. I will not be defeated. Here I go! Oh, sacred light! I will not be defeated. no choice.
Oh no.
Well then. I'll not be defeated. My turn now. Here I go! Oh, sacred light!
Here you go.
I'll not be defeated. My turn now.
I don't think it's enough to. No, it's not.
My turn now. I hope I grow more able. This is
Cave of Origin. This cave houses the first flame of fire that Alfred himself brought down from the heavens. I must bring it back. Gimme.
Well, the fact is, that's right.
Safe travels.
Is it X? I need your help, friend. We're going. What did I just do?
flame protect us.
Oh, that's scary.
I'll not be defeated.
Oh, thank goodness.
My turn now. Oh, sacred light!
Oh, thank goodness.
I am not made for such battle.
Let's go, buddy.
I will battle.
Okay, we got this.
Well then.
Literally,
I'll do
just
my
don't
best.
miss and do what you did last time. Good, good, good.
I hope I grow more able.
Now learn new skills. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's go learn some new skills. Where is it? Right there. Okay, skills. Use a JP to earn to learn new skills. I'll need increasingly more job points to learn skills. Choose carefully. Okay. I don't get. It's 6 SP, but I have JP. Oh, that's okay. I see. There we go. Seen monsters before, but nothing like the creatures in this cave. They have to protect the flame. To think of it, why do I feel as though something is watching my every move? Fresh and jam.
Flame, protect us!
Oh, we were so close.
I'll not be defeated. Ah! Well then.
Goodbye.
I'm not made for such battles.
There's also a nice little peddler in right before each boss fight. The hell is this? Oh. Let's go. Of thee who dost treadest these halls, I ask, art thou fit to lighten the flames and showen the path to all humanity?
What?
His voice. I am the guardian of the first flame. If thou wouldst call it thyself the flame bearer, thou must prove it thyself worthy.
I will not lose to you! Well then.
Night Ardante? Join me, friend.
I'll do my best!
Oh crap, he has several.
My turn now.
Ardante!
I'll do my best.
Get back here. Oh no, that's fire.
I'll not be defeated. Here I go!
Don't miss.
Well then. Prepare yourself!
There we go.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, cool. Thanks, buddy.
Well then,
Dante, get out here.
well then. I'll not be defeated. I'll do my best.
Buddy, get back in here. What?
I'll do my best.
Oh no.
I'll do my best. Here I go! Well then. My turn now. I'll not be defeated.
I thought that freaking turn counter though was how long I had to beat this guy, not when the thing explodes.
Oh, sacred light!
I think he's low health.
My turn now.
Alright, we're going good, Ardante. Oh my god, you did it! Whew.
This is...
It's the first flame of Alfric, the fire he brought down from the stars. It's so beautiful, as brilliant as the stars burning in the night sky. Ophelia, thou hast been judged worthy to bear in the sacred flame. Reaching out thy hand, taking it in Alfric's lanthorn.
Ah,
The lanthorn. This must be it. This is a sacred lantern used in the kindling. Alfric's lantern.
Liana.
Liana, please forgive me.
Ah,
I must hasten back.
Liana.
How is His Excellency?
Oh,
He is sleeping still, but he seems to be resting more easily now. Where have you been, Ophelia? Everyone was worried about you.
you see...
There is something I must tell you. My daughters.
Father?
Your Excellency.
My apologies.
Forgive me, my girls, for for making you worry so. God, I'm dying sooner than he is. Do not look at me with such sad eyes, Liana. I will be well again before... Cough, cough, like I just did.
Father?
Father? Why did I repeat
yes.
that? She said it. I will be well again before long. But now is not the time for such worries, the right.
Your Excellency.
I must speak with you.
Yes.
What is it, Ophelia?
Yes.
I would go on the pilgrimage and complete the kindling in Liana's place. Oh no!
What?
Everyone's a bit... That's Alfred's lanthorn! Ophelia, you...
Ophelia.
Your Excellency. You are aware that it is a grave sin for one to enter the Cave of Origin without the Church's permission. I am, Your Excellency.
Ophelia...
But why?
Liana.
Leave us now. I would speak with Ophelia alone.
No!
But father...
Yes.
Worry not. I will not be punishing your sister, Liana. But there are matters we must discuss.
I understand.
I understand, father. Just don't be too hard on her, okay? The amount of emotion they can convey with just a 2-day sprite is impressive.
At least it would seem you came through your ill-advised journey in one piece.
I did, Your Excellency.
And I can assume you set out with no preparation to speak of. For all your quiet dignity.
I am sorry, Your Excellency.
Oh, Ophelia. I only hope that this kindness of yours will not be your ruin.
Your Excellency?
You journeyed to the Cave of Origin so that Liana might stay here with me, did you not? I will inform the Pontiff that there has been a change in plans, and that you will perform the kindling in Liana's stead. Speak with your sister, and learn what she has these many months. Your instruction will be abbreviated, but I know you are up to the task.
Your Excellency.
Your kindness brings warmth and light to all around you, Ophelia, just as does the sacred flame.
Your Excellency,
Ophelia, when I first took you in, I had a dream.
A dream, Your Excellency?
A dream of you, bearing the flame into the world. Looking back now, I realize it was an omen of what was to come. Liana is a fine daughter, my pride and joy. She has served as a daughter of the Church far better than I had any right to expect. But I know that it has not come easily to her. She has given up much of her true self to be who she must be for the Church. I have not yet told Liana, but I fear that I am not much longer for this world.
But Your Excellency, the healer said...
I trust that I know my body better than any other.
Your Excellency...
Oh, Ophelia. I am so proud of you and Liana both. Promise me that you will love one another forever.
Your Excellency, Father, please, please don't leave us.
Thank you, Ophelia.
with that, I should be off. Do take care.
Take care yourself. I think Father was looking a little better today, don't you? We nearly had to tie him to his bed. He so wished to be here too.
It's good to know he's acting more like himself again.
Ophelia, I owe you an apology.
Whatever for, Liana?
When I first heard that you would go on the pilgrimage in my stead, to tell you the truth, I was relieved. The thought that I could stay here with Father instead of worrying about the kindling? I knew you would be putting yourself in great danger, and yet I was so happy. Can you forgive me, Ophelia?
Oh, please. I am the one who should apologize. I have no right to be here and, well, here I am.
I know that you only wanted to help me. And knowing that you will perform the rite in my stead makes me happier than anything.
Thank you, Liana. And so my journey begins. To Saintsbridge, Goldshore, and finally back to Flamesgrace. Light the flames in each town. Perform the kindling as our forebears have. I'll be gone for a while. But if ever you or Father need me, pray send for me at once.
Thank you, Ophelia. Really do take care of yourself, okay?
Let us see how Saintsbridge and the Riverlands treats me. Till we meet again, dear sister. May the sacred flame light your path.
And may it ever shine its warmth upon you.
So the cleric set out on a journey, never meant to be hers. She must have come. Holy rite carried out every 20 years. Be able to return to the beloved family she wishes to protect. Where will this unexpected journey lead her? May the gods may know. Across Ostera, there are 7 others who await you. Why not venture out and find them? Together, you can defeat even the greatest foes. Why not? Gonna move this. Again. There we go. Okay. Now, one thing to note. Hi there. Okay. So, see the 8 different people. Basically, how that one is 23. The best way to do it is do, like, each person's quest, like, their first quest, then do each person's second quest, then do each person's third, and so on. You can only have 4 people in your party at one time, but all 8 will, like, be in your group, and you can bring them in and out at whatever time as soon as you you know, find them and unlock them. However, I think your main person, which is the person you start the game with, which for me is Ophelia, is always in your party no matter what. So you cannot remove them in your party. So there's 3 people you can flex out, swap out. I started with Ophelia last time. My girlfriend here started with Cyrus. And Cyrus is a damn good one to have in your party at all times because he's just an all-around hitter. Magical, but he can do anything. Ophelia is just the best healer in terms of like free healing. Alphen is a good healer too, but he takes materials. But let us go. Hello? Miles. I was recently done the great honor of being appointed to the Knights of Ardante. Well, I needed you guys. In fact, my late father, rest him, was also a member of the Knights of Ardante, though he was stripped of his cloak for the crime of deserting in the midst of battle. Even now, after all these years, it is difficult to believe such slander to be true. My father would never have abandoned his fellow knights in battle. Okay, it's not God that we need for him.
A good day to you.
Good. I'll take 10. So. What? Hey. Alright, I got some money now. What have I got here? Critical goes down a bit. Yeah, let's definitely get this. Oh, I can't afford it anymore. I'm poor. Oh, hello there,
Hell.
peoples.
Better believe it.
Hear a tale. Oh, okay. Okay, that's how that works. I cannot provide the only there is some proof that my years of working off. See, I think I'm pretty much good to go.
Greetings.
Guess I'm good to go. Onward! Kate can't mark down like a waypoint, so I just gonna have to win it. I constantly look at the map. Hello, sir? Of course I do. I'd have been done for if you hadn't come along. My name is Kit. Oh, I love the name Kit. I'm on a journey to find my father. Disappeared when I was just a boy. Are you on a journey too? Perhaps our two will cross again someday. Be safe. May travels bring you all that you seek. Oh, hell yeah! I'm getting me a new ride. Mama needs a new staff. Yeah. Alright, let's go.
I will battle.
Oh no.
My turn now.
I can take it.
I will not be defeated. Oh, sacred light! I am not made for such battles.
Atlas Dam, Flames Grave. Well, I need to get to Atlas Dam, so let's go that way. Is there anything over here, though? Treasure!
I will battle. My turn now. I will not be defeated. May the sacred flame shine forth. My turn now. My turn now.
gone, demon.
I am not made for such battle. There is no choice. I'll do my best. Well then.
Be gone.
I am not made for such battle.
Okay, how do I get down there?
I will battle.
Ah, right there.
Well then. Yeah. I'll not be defeated. Oh, sacred light! I am not made for such battle.
Okay, now we're good.
I will battle.
Ah,
Well then. I'll not be defeated. Well then. I'll do my best.
I can just get away with that.
The
Yeah.
flame guides us true.
You can kind of see the health of enemies. Not like the exact health. I mean, there are perks for that, but you can see, like, if it's red, like their name, then their health is pretty low. Yellow is average, white is normal.
I will battle.
Oh no, truffles.
I'll not be defeated.
Oh my goodness.
I'll do my best. Well then. Prepare yourself. I hope I've grown more able. I will battle.
Oh, that don't look good.
I'll do my best. Ah!
Oh, this is a problem.
My turn now.
Oh no.
I'll do my best. Oh, sacred light.
Ah.
I'll do my best.
Sick as fuck. I love that. I think that looks great. Hit him. Beat him down.
My turn now. Here I go! Oh, sacred light.
Okay, he's dead.
I am not made for such battles. flame protect us!
Oh, that don't look good.
My turn now. Well then. May the sacred flame shine forth! Well then. There! I'll do my best. There!
Okay, good. We're alive.
I am not made for such battle.
I need to level up soon because I am running out of recipe.
There is no choice.
Oh, no.
Well then.
Oh, no.
Well then. This should help. Well then.
This is not good.
I'll not be defeated.
Time to die.
Prepare yourself! I hope I grow more able.
Okay, there we go. Level up.
I will battle. My turn now.
Okay, well, you could run from these battles. The thing is, you need to level up. You need to grind in this game. So it's not a good idea to run unless you are going to
Oh,
die.
sacred light! I'll not be defeated. I'll do my best. Here I go! Oh, sacred light! The flame guides us true.
Oh, treasure! Alright, Atlas Dam is to the left. To the left, to the left.
I will battle.
Oh crap, a pig!
I'll do my best. Well then.
Let's use our dot.
I'll do my best.
Not because I can't take this one on my own. But more so I might as well test, see what this thing's got. Because, like, you see the question mark still. It's good to know what you can fight against, what needs to... shut up.
Prepare yourself! Oh, sacred light!
But also, like, I'm about to enter a new town. I
The
can get it.
flame guides us true.
Hi ho!
Hello there.
Fare thee well then.
Now fare thee. And thus,
We have made it here. Safe and sound.
Yes!
An egg, you say? Egg.
That's right.
Hello.
Okay, okay.
Hello there.
Almost there. To our next character.
Hello?
Right there.
Listen.
How are you doing
Hello there.
today? Hello there. Sure is rain.
You know what? If I remember correctly, I'm going to be doing, like, walking around this area with Cyrus anyways, so let's just talk to Cyrus. What's up, homeboy? Yes. I think I know who stole that town. Perhaps we should go have a little chat with him, just to make sure we all understand one another. His name is Cyrus, and he is a scholar. This is Atlas Dam, nestled in the fertile plains of the Flatlands. It's home to the Royal Academy, where many a scholar studies night and day, to bring the light of knowledge to the royal family and to all the realm. He passes his days in the halls of the great library, devouring tomes to his heart's content. It's in that library where he learns of a grievous theft. Certain that one of his fellow scholars is the culprit, Cyrus sets out alone to confront the man. In his shadowy subterranean study, he will need wise allies on the path he has chosen. Find comrades and add them to your party. Seek out fellow travelers, and they will ask for your help. Chapter 1, and they will join you on your journey. After Chapter 1, you can change your party members at the tavern. Hell yeah, we're gonna hear the beginning of Cyrus's tale.
And so it was that Atlas Dam was founded some 2 centuries ago. Indeed, our fair city-state is among the longest standing on the continent of Austera. But there was another city-state with a history as long and proud as our own that came to a tragic ruin only 8 short years ago. Now, who can tell me its name? How about you, Therese?
I think it was...
Now. No need to get all flustered. There's no shame in not knowing an answer, so long as you have a desire to learn. The answer is in your textbook. Go on now, look it up.
Yes, Professor. Let's see. I believe believe it was Hornburg?
That is correct.
Sorry.
Hornburg was ruled over by a royal family, said to be descended from priests of an ancient and long-forgotten religion. On the other hand, our fair Atlasdam was founded by one of the original clans that inhabited the Flatlands. Who can tell me how many clans lived in the Flatlands at the time? Your Highness?
The histories have it that 8 clans did live in the Flatlands in those days.
Correct you are, Your Highness. It was a time of great strife here in the Flatlands as the 8 clans waged a long and bitter war. Change would come when the armies of Grandport invaded these lands some 2 centuries ago. At the time, the rulers of Grandport sought to exert their influence over territories inland. Ironically, this compelled the warring tribes to put aside their differences and unite against their common foe. Oh, but look at the time. We'll pick up where we left off next time. Don't forget to read chapters 3 and 4 before our next lecture. And be prepared to answer questions on any of the material within.
Yes, Professor.
Thank you for another most stimulating lecture, Professor Albright.
Hello?
Professor Albright. Mercedes from the Royal Library came with a message for you. Seems today's your lucky day. You've been granted permission to enter the special archives.
Splendid!
Finally, I can begin my research. Library is just outside the palace. I'd best make haste. I see treasure down there.
As you do.
Greetings! Not bad, eh?
Looking for treasure. Oh, I see treasure.
Professor
My
Albright.
goodness, this girl is booking it.
Your Highness.
The truth of the matter is,
But of course!
After all, my role as your tutor is as important to me as any of my research. Fortunately, I cannot spare much time. Is the question a quick one?
indeed.
Yes, Professor, it will not take long. I was just wondering about the ancient religion of Hornburg. Pray tell, what did they worship?
Very astute of you.
Very astute question, Your Highness. However, I fear that nearly all the texts detailing the nature of the religion were burnt and lost when Hornburg fell. shame that it's impressive that an entire civilization, like, even all that, is burned down, and it was only like 8 years ago. Shame that.
The truth is,
I do, however, have a theory of my own. I believe that the royal family of Hornburg were guardians of an ancient power. Mind you, this is not idle speculation. My theory is based on the fact that...
Oh,
Blobbity 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 blah. Let us continue the discussion another time. My apologies for keeping you, Professor.
With pleasure.
No need for apologies, and it would be my pleasure, Your Highness. That such questions occur to you is a sign of a sharp and curious mind.
Why, thank you.
The lectures on the history of the realm are most fascinating to me. For if I do not learn of our past, how can I hope to lead my people to a bright future?
Indeed.
Most admirable philosophy, Your Highness. People of this land are truly fortunate to be led by one of such wisdom and kindness. As I am truly fortunate to have the opportunity to serve in some small way. You are far too kind, Professor Albright. I am proud to be your student.
Ah,
Oh dear, I'm running late.
good day.
Pray do not forget your assignment, Your Highness.
Farewell.
Of course, Professor.
Ah, Therese.
Oh, hello there, Therese.
Yes? Do you have a question for me?
Do you have a question for me as well?
no.
I mean, no. Good day, Professor.
Hmm?
This man is clueless. No, go back in. There was treasure afoot.
Hello?
Hello there, hello there. Gimme!
What?
And running, and treasure. Heck yeah!
Hello.
Plus, it just isn't cut out for that sort of work. Whatever it was. Move along now.
It's me, Cyrus.
Good day, Mercedes. Cyrus Albright here to browse special archives. Oh, Professor Albright, you're looking quite eager today.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard that an original copy of the Church of the Flame, a complete history, had been donated to the archives, I simply had to be the first to see it.
I see.
More on top of our collection than I am. Just sign here.
With pleasure.
Actually,
Someone known as the most brilliant mind in the Royal Academy. When you talk about books, you're as giddy as a schoolboy. When you put it that way, yes. Much as a child is fascinated by a new toy, I am titillated by the prospect of acquiring new knowledge.
I see.
Right. The expression on your face says it all. Anyway, everything seems to be in order. Enjoy your quest for knowledge, Professor.
Many thanks.
Many thanks, my dear. I most certainly will.
What have we here?
How odd. The tome is nowhere to be found. Did someone return it to the wrong shelf? Not here either.
An interesting dilemma.
These archives are strictly guarded and curated. Wherever could it have gone?
Professor Albright!
The headmaster would see you at once. Of all the times to... Oh well. Might I ask of you a favor? What might that be?
The truth is...
The tome I mentioned before seems to have been gone missing. Could you locate
I
it
see.
for me? Missing? Huh. I'll begin looking at once, Professor.
Many thanks.
Many thanks, my dear.
Cyrus Albright,
Oh.
by your request, sir.
Do enter. My apologies for summoning you on such short notice.
How might I be of assistance, Headmaster?
That treatise on arcane studies you published. What in the gods' names were you thinking?
Sir? I do believe I made my hypothesis perfectly clear.
I'm not talking about your hypothesis. You went out of your way to cite one of the texts in our special archives. The knowledge housed in those tomes is the Royal Academy's greatest treasure. It is not to be divulged to the public at your whim. Laying it bare in one of your silly papers is out of the question.
I am fully aware of the value of those tomes, Headmaster. It is for that very reason I would share the knowledge with my peers.
You are to share nothing! That wisdom is for the Academy and the Academy alone.
But that goes against everything...
Enough, Cyrus!
Even my best argument is sure to fall on deaf ears. The Headmaster sees knowledge as a medal or precious stone, something to be appreciated by its rightful owner alone. Knowledge is power, and power is to be hoarded. An unfortunate attitude, indeed. My sincere apologies, Headmaster. It won't happen again. Is there anything else you need of me?
That is all. You may go. Wait, there was one last thing.
Sir?
I heard the special archives will be closing early today. If you have research to do there, I would do so quickly.
Good gods. It's as if he enjoys watching me suffer. Thank you for your concern, Headmaster. In that case, I'll be on my way.
Enter.
Excuse me.
What's the matter?
Is this someone in the library? Yeah.
Can I help you?
A moment of your time.
My apologies.
Say it is not so.
Actually,
Aho!
Meant to be solved. Or so the scholar in me says, would you not agree? If it had been stolen, I would say it's a job for the city guard. But I can see you won't let it go until you've cracked the case, as it were.
Indeed!
Haha, you could say that, indeed. A habit I just can't seem to break. Once a puzzle is placed before me, I simply cannot rest until I've worked out a solution.
I see.
Well, far be it from me to stand in your way. It must be tough being a genius.
Leave it to me.
I'll not deny it. Worry not, the tome will be back on the shelf before you can bat an eyelash.
Take care.
Right. Thanks. Best of luck in your search.
Time to do some research.
And the game is afoot. I suppose I should inquire with the authorities as to where the keys to the library are stored. Part of the front door would know who has been frequenting the library lately as my fellow scholars. Then mayhap I should pay the headmaster a visit as well. Key to the archives? Oh, I haven't got that, but I'm not surprised that someone stole a tome, considering what they're worth. I've gambling debts myself, so I understand the temptation. Most intriguing.
Are you all right?
Testimony. Only Headmaster Yvonne and the guard stationed outside should have a key to the library archives. This just isn't cut out. Of course I've got a key to the archives, and no, I wasn't sleeping, I was resting my eyes. But even if I was sleeping, what would it matter? What kind of fool would bother stealing a worthless tome anyway?
Hello?
Tried to protect the king. Guard suffered a serious leg injury and was since transferred to a coma post inside the grounds. Though the injury healed long ago, he hasn't mentioned it to anyone and enjoys the serenity of his new post. Ooh, a hidden item. You ready for some scrutiny?
Hello.
No item or individual that passes through the palace gates escapes this guard's notice. Rumor has it, however, that his dedication is not rooted in any sort of loyalty, but is rather born of the desire to perpetuate and protect his own unscrupulous business of selling trinkets to collectors of royal mementos. Oh, I see that hidden item up there.
Hello there. Sure is.
Born and raised in Atlastan, this old widow now visits Pals every day in memory of her late husband. Even after she passes, she wishes to be by her husband's side, just like the relief of the king and queen in the Academy's library. A hidden item. Good for you. Where am I supposed to be going? Well, there's only a few places to check out, so let's check them out. Oh, he's gonna be pissed at me. You know full well I have a key to the special archive, and that I would never be so foolish as to let it fall into the wrong hands. In any event, I have had no reason to pursue the peruse those tomes in quite some time.
Splendid! But of course!
One belonged to the headmaster and one to the guardsman. Whose key was used to unlock the archives? Safely locked away in his office. Furthermore, he hasn't visited the archives today. On the other hand, the guard has been acting suspicious of late, even sleeping while on active duty.
Oh!
It would be all too easy to task to lift the key off his person. So is it possible that the guard is our man?
No.
No, he would have no motive. The culprit must be someone who understands the true value of the tome. Which is to say, one of my colleagues. And most likely, one who has accrued a frightful gambling debt.
Which means that...
Put it all together, and our villain is... Russell.
Yes.
Indubitably. That shifty scholar, Russell. Yes, I dare say my logic is foolproof.
Shall we begin?
Find our man and make him confess to the crime. Word has it, he's been doing his research underground these days.
Now then!
I think it's time I did some field work of my own. Taking it upon myself to investigate this suspicious scholar. Interested in coming along, are you? Seems you have quite the curious trick yourself. But of course, mysteries exist only to be solved. After all, it is of utmost importance to remember that. Ah, but there I go again. Don't let me talk your ear off, but I would be glad for your help. Let's get right to business then. No doubt we'll find Russell, and his laboratory down below. Cyrus joined the party. Hell yeah, we got 2 people in the party now. Ooh, treasure. Oh no, a lamp. Oh, I forgot he could do that. Oh, I love that.
My turn now.
Cyrus has the wonderful ability to find out what an enemy's weak spot is. He'll find out once per, like, engagement. So, every time you fight with him in the party, he will discover a new thing, and that is immensely useful.
Oh, flames! Rage! Rock!
Well then. I hope I grow more able.
Cyrus getting that level up.
There is no choice. Well then.
Good.
Now, what next? Now,
Let's just beat them.
Well then.
Oh, wait.
Oh, sacred light!
There we go.
I am not made for
Damn
such
injustice.
battles.
can't we settle this like gentlemen?
My turn now.
What is the logical course of action? Now, what next?
Oh, he's still alive.
I hope I grow more able.
There we go. Yeah.
Can't we settle this like
Oh,
gentlemen?
that's terrifying.
Well then.
Light it up.
Oh, sacred light!
Oh
Now, what next? What is the logical course of action? Oh, flames! Rage! Rock! You should have studied harder.
That's another thing to know is physical attacks. Like when you hit the thing to level it up, you just do the attack multiple times. But magic attacks, you just make a more powerful attack. So it's important to do, like, if you need to break 2 shield, a double down magic attack won't do the job.
Time to teach you a lesson. What is the logical course of action?
Well then. Well then. Oh, sacred light! I hope I grow more able.
Okay, how do I get to this bottom chest? It looks like I come from this direction. There it is.
Time to teach you a lesson.
Well then.
Oh, that did nothing.
Well then. I hope I blow more again.
Fuck COVID, man. Winter time. What?
Can't we settle this like gentlemen? What is the logical course of action?
Okay.
I'll do my best. I'll not be defeated.
There we go.
The flame guides us true.
That light does so much damage. Okay, all I think is left is that chest over there. We can get that. I think I come up from across.
Can't we settle
Yes.
this like gentlemen?
I'll not be defeated.
Now, what next? Oh, flames! Rain! Wrong!
Well then.
Boom.
The flame guides us true.
What have you got, good sir? Nothing I really need. Skills. Oh, I've got a good amount. Support skills. Okay, okay. Oh, that's a lot of things. Analyze is good. Let's get lightning though. Just so we got a more well-rounded thing. But analyze comes next. Yeah, we got a 2-person save now.
Interesting dilemma.
Well then. I will not be defeated.
Boom.
I am not made for such battles.
Just enough. Y'all know what time it is? It's time for us to open up a can of whoop ass.
What?
Professor Albright? Are you always in the habit of barging into your peers' office while they're working?
Excuse me.
My apologies, I would have knocked, but I didn't see a door.
A moment of your time.
Apropos of nothing, mayhap you've heard that a certain tome was stolen from the archives. I haven't the faintest clue what you're talking about.
Come now.
Come now, Russell. Plain dumb is just going to drag this out for the both of us. So let's cut straight to the heart of the matter. You're a thief, and I can prove it. What the hell's you can?
The truth is...
Unfortunately for you, at precisely the moment you were trying to sneak back with the key, your friend the guardsman was just waking up from his little slumber.
But
that's impossible. He was asleep. I'm positively... Ah!
Oh!
Keeping up on our friend's soul. What's are we, old chum? It was a slip of the tongue. I tell you, I know nothing about this goddamn book.
Is that so?
Figured you'd say as much. Then perhaps you'd care to accompany me to the academy to prove your innocence, of course.
Huh.
Damn it! Damn it all to hell! It was the perfect plan if not for your bloody meddling. I could have had it all.
I don't think this one will listen
Oh my
to
lord,
reason.
he's a big dude. Okay, you know what?
I'll do my best.
An interesting dilemma.
I'll not be defeated.
What is the logical course of action?
Oh, light! Smite them down!
I'll do my best. Here I go! May the sacred flame shine forth!
Focus! Oh, ice! Hit them through!
I'll do my best. Let your wounds be healed.
No. I don't like that.
Oh, ice! Yes, come through!
I will not be defeated. My turn now.
Oh, that saved me. Goodbye, friend.
Oh, ice! Yes, come through!
What's this?
Oh!
What's this now?
I'll do my best. There! I will not be defeated.
What's this now?
My turn now.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
Now we're going big.
Here I go! Oh, sacred light!
An interesting dilemma.
Now the truth! Oh, flames! Rain! Drop!
Oh, that didn't do much. Leave me alone,
Interesting
sir.
dilemma.
Well then. Let your wounds be healed. My turn now.
What is the logical course? An interesting.
Well then.
Alright. Let's just hit you upside the head. Bring down the holy light upon your head.
I am
That
not
was-
made for such battles.
Very quick and efficient. Wow. Didn't even level up once from that fight. I swear, I never meant to. I just needed the money.
Just so.
That tome would fetch a small fortune. It's true. And yet did you not for a moment consider the consequences?
Say it is not so.
In stealing that tome, you would steal from us students something more valuable than all the realm's riches. A grave crime no matter who would perpetrate it, but all the more unforgivable when the one who committed it calls himself a scholar.
Thank you.
Indeed.
That I did, and yet I fear this may not be the only volume our friend had purloined. Russell has already confessed to the full extent of his crimes and revealed the names of his business associates. Wow, man, you really got him. Need only track down the books and purchase them back. I'll speak to the guards and see that we redouble the security of the archives. It says there's another book still missing. That scoundrel of a scholar steal this one as well.
Actually,
Ah, from the far reaches of hell? No, I can assure you that he did not. It's been missing for some 15 years now. Russell's aggressive borrowing only extends some 2 years back.
I see.
I see. So this volume was lost or stolen long before that.
Yes.
Right, as always, Professor. Pray tell me more about from the far reaches of hell. According to our records, it would seem to be a compendium of ancient rites and long-lost magics. If I am not mistaken, it was the single oldest volume housed within our archives. Needless to say, it was a tremendous loss.
Most intriguing.
Oh, yet another mystery, it would seem. Professor Albright, the headmaster, would speak with you at once.
His Awesomeness?
Again? Who could it be this time? Perhaps he plans to commend you for your role in apprehending the library thief. I have no interest in accolades, but if he insists... Oh, you... Let's-a go. Wait a second, no, it's back this way. Then up and to the left.
I've brought Professor Albright, as asked, sir.
Good. Enter. Thank you, Lucia.
Yes, Headmaster. What can I do for you? Something tells me he's not about to offer a commendation.
Professor Albright, a most troubling report has reached my ears.
A report, sir?
An anonymous source claims that you have abused your prestigious position to enter into an illicit relationship with Her Highness the Princess.
Oh. And you believe this report, sir?
If it is untrue, then say so.
Why, it is unfounded, unsubstantiated, balderdash of the highest order!
I would like to take your words at face value, Professor, but I fear the situation is not so simple. A rumor regarding the royal family, even an unsubstantiated one such as this, is sure to spread quickly. If we do not take swift action, Princess Mary's good name could be forever sullied. That is something that simply cannot be allowed to happen. Surely you understand.
And so what do you intend to do with me, sir?
It is not an easy decision to make. Dismissing you outright would be tantamount to an admission of guilt.
If I may be so bold, Headmaster, what about a sabbatical? Professor Albright has put on extended leave, while official accounts state that he's doing fieldwork in a distant land.
What say you, Cyrus? This way, both the Academy's reputation and your own will remain intact.
My reputation?
Do we have a problem, Professor?
Not at all, Headmaster. On the contrary, this might prove the perfect opportunity.
Opportunity? For what?
As a matter of fact, there is a matter which has piqued my interest of late. I was just wondering when I might find the time to do a bit of research in the field. I think I will set forth on a journey in search of an ancient tome that disappeared 15 years ago. Besides, if I am not permitted to share what I have learned with my peers and the public, there is little point in continuing my research here.
Is that so? Do tell, Professor. What is it that you intend to investigate?
As regards a certain tome. Now, if you will forgive me, I must begin packing for my journey. Good day to you, Headmaster.
Bitch.
An enigma as ever, that one.
Professor!
Oh, Therese, what is it?
I heard that you were leaving the academy.
Then you heard true.
Professor, I'm so sorry.
I see. So you were the source of the rumor.
You knew?
Not until just this moment, when you apologized. And yet, I cannot fathom your motive. Why would you tell such a terrible lie?
You're always helping Her Highness, answering her every question. I just wanted you to pay more attention to me.
And that's why you went to the headmaster.
Yes, but I just wanted to get you in a little trouble. I didn't think they would. I am so sorry, Professor. Can you ever forgive me?
Worry not, my dear. It just so happens that I was looking for a good excuse to go on a journey.
You were?
For some time now, I've wanted to travel the realm and see what can be learned beyond these halls. I dare say the timing couldn't have been better. You see, there's a certain matter I simply can't wait to investigate. So fret not, my girl. If for anything, you've done me a favor. Besides, I am not entirely without fault in the matter. Indeed, I have not been as attentive to you as I should. Had I realized your true intention sooner, I would not be in this position.
Professor, whatever do you...
If only I had realized how devoted you were to your studies, my dear girl.
My studies?
I have always striven to treat all my students equally. And yet, Her Highness is always eager to ask questions, and I was all too eager to answer them. In doing so, I may have given the impression that I favored her above you and the others. This was not my intention, but I am at fault all the same. Yes, if only I had seen you for the ardent and devoted young scholar that you are.
Professor... Perhaps you're not quite as sharp as I thought you were.
Yes?
Never mind.
I love that boy.
In that case, I should be off. Pray do not shirk your studies, my girl.
Yes, Professor. Will I ever see you again?
I do not see why not, provided we both still live.
Hello there.
Well, that went pretty well. Oh, la 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 la. Well, thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you anybody watching this in the future. I think with this one, I may just save the uploads and then just re-upload them onto YouTube. Maybe when I get to the grindy parts of the game, I can just cut a bit, cut a few times, cut out the grind more or less, but still stream. But yeah, I might do that if I can figure out how. I don't know if Steam will, or Steam, wow. Twitch will let me do that or not. I know I can't do it the day after, so I won't even bother with that. Love you all. Peace out.